The Idea Store is the place to let your imagination run wild. It is a sustainable way to craft and find exactly the amount of supplies that you need for your project. Joining me today from the Idea Store is Ruta Robber. Welcome back to ciLiving.
Thanks for being here.
All right, so I see that we are going to craft today. I'm very excited.
Yes,
what supplies do we need for this project?
Okay, so the featured item this time is the lowly plastic spool.
Okay.
So here are just a couple of ideas that you can use them as game pieces. You can roll the ball at them. You can shoot rubber bands at them. You can count with them. Here's a very nice little short garland that I used scrap paper with, but you can decorate them with fabric scraps and ribbon. So just you know, different little ideas.
And I like the numbers. I like the idea that you can count with them, you can stack, because then they're sort of a learning tool as well.
Right. So I used stickers to put on mine, but you can certainly get a permanent marker and just write in the numbers on there. So, but I have to go, of course, an extra step.
Sure.
But the main event today is we're going to be using the spools as rubber stamps.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I just have an assembly of, we need cardstock, we need, of course, our spools. Now they are limited in sort of like variety.
Oh,
but
I see.
this one is a solid one, and what I did is I took a sharp tool and I kind of sketched in there. Right. And then there's the other two that have sort of like a floral-y kind of look to it. So limited, but you can always you know, change it up depending on, you know, adding detail with using markers and your colored pencils.
Okay.
So because they're hard, you need to add a cushion. So I brought some scraps of fun foam. Right?
Okay.
If anybody has one of those old mouse pads, that would work, a magazine, just something to have a cushion. Otherwise, your image is not going to come out if you're stamping hard on hard, okay?
Okay.
So I've got a couple of white...
Can I stamp?
Go ahead.
I'm so excited.
So ink it up good. Usually I'll have a little scrap paper to test it.
Okay.
All right. And then you will just tap, 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 and I've already started my little...
Put it in the ink pad.
Right. You don't want to... You want to be careful not to contaminate your ink pad. So if you have like your red, so this should be always red and then designated, so you're not changing them out unless you wipe them off. Okay.
And if you don't have ink pads, you can probably color with the marker on the edge and then stamp. Maybe?
I would say probably water-based.
Water-based. Okay.
Permanent is just, it's not going to work. So
okay.
You can actually even put it into a little bit of acrylic paint, but just take a sponge and just very lightly dab it. Just don't over ink it, and then you can actually use that as your you know, way of stamping. So.
Sure, perfect.
So yeah, so there's just a couple of examples here. This one looks like a flower. I made it, you know, got the stems. Here's a birthday card.
Oh,
look
so
like
you have
balloons. Right.
I like it.
This one I think is my favorite. It kind of has that lifesaver kind of look to it. So it just, you know, it just vary the ink, vary the detail with your cardstock, and get your message, and you are ready to go.
And I like that with these because you can really use your imagination. To me, they kind of look like donuts. I feel like you can take a marker and put little sprinkles on them.
Exactly, that's exactly right.
Make it an everything bagel.
Exactly, yeah. So you, like get good and pressed.
And I like this because you can kind of go crazy with it as far as like make a little collage or a pattern, or you could kind of do pattern stamping if you're working with kids, like with the numbers.
Yes.
That
so
really
just
cool.
I mean, you know, borders. There's just no limit to what you can come up with as far as your you know, composition. So. And
then you can add little embellishments to the top with other pieces.
Yeah, that's
so
just
like
a stamp. Happy birthday. You can add stickers on there. You can add ribbon on there. Certainly more drawing.
Sure.
So there's no limit.
The sky's the limit. I love carding. And since we learned how to make envelopes last time, you can use those calendars and make the envelopes and then put
your
the
cards in there.
The envelope.
It all works together. There's a system in the universe that it all comes together. And
you inspired me last time when we were making the cards, because in addition to the calendars, I started using old magazines when I'm done with them, and also old playbills. If I have multiple of the same one, the playbills actually make really cool.
That's
really cool envelopes.
Yes,
so thank you for those ideas.
Sure.
And the Idea Store has a bunch of events coming up as well, right? What's going on this month?
So for the people that are like last minute, as we were talking about, Valentine's coming up. It's Friday. Oh my gosh, you know. So we still have a table that's full of Valentine supplies, cards, and so forth.
Perfect.
The jewelry jackpot, the pop-up is done, but we still have our jewelry case is open all the time when the store is open.
Oh, amazing.
So if you're looking for, you know, earrings or a brooch or something, still, we still have that available, okay?
Perfect.
And then sort of like coming up, we will be featuring a slow stitching workshop, I think in March. And also I just found out that we will be having a camera sale.
Ooh.
Sometime, I'm not sure when, but make sure that, you know, sign up for our newsletter, check the Facebook page, look at Instagram, and all those events. The details will follow. So I just want to just put that out there.
Camera sale coming up. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for teaching us how to make this.
Thanks for having us again.
And if you want more information about any of the events coming up, you want to rewatch this segment and make some of your own cards, you can head on over to our website, ciLiving.tv, and we would be happy to connect you with our friends at the Idea Store.